Hi Gemini, and welcome to your October general reading. So I haven't even pulled your Lenormand yet. Let me get you one Lenormand. Okay, so don't worry, but you got the Mummy card. This card tends to represent some sort of initiation. Okay. So it's not like, I don't even think it was an equivalent in the tarot for this, because it's not the death card. It's more the rebirth card. So some sort of change process that you're in, that tends to be what it represents, Gemini. So I'm just staring at it because it's such an interesting card, because there's almost a feeling with this card that there's some energy looking out for you. You might recognize this energy. Sometimes it's people that cross our path, sometimes it's an urge, sometimes it's an intention, but something is trying to get your attention. Okay? Very, very mysterious, very, very esoteric card. When it shows up for me, it quite often shows up as a hunch. I have a hunch to contact someone. There's a really, it's almost like something is trying to get your attention. And in the card, one of the figures are asleep, and the other is an energy that's trying to arouse you from this sleep. So this can come in so many ways. The sense of wanting to wake out of a sleep. Now give me a minute and I'll pull, what I'll do is I'll just throw a set of cards for you, and we'll try and understand where this feeling is. I mean, the North Node is in Gemini, so obviously the nodal return on your sign is a really big deal. It only happens every 18 years, and something's trying to arouse you, essentially. So let's find out what it's about. We're in Libra season. Libra forms a really beautiful trine with Gemini. It's all about connection, resonance, communication. So let me just find out what's going on. So what's this about for the sign of Gemini? Six of Cups behind you, the Five of Wands. Head and heart going in separate directions. It looks like it's around some sort of emotional connection. What you want is the Fool. Who doesn't? I don't mean that. A lot of people don't like the Fool because he's this very, very carefree energy. The gift is the Seven of Pentacles. The challenge is the Chariot. So what's showing up in your relationships? The Hanging Man. Can I just move things so you can, a lot of people love to see the whole spread. Hanging Man. Money and work. You've got the Capricorn card. Not particularly a bad card. Can feel like you feel stuck. But the Capricorn card is form. So bringing things into form, definition. Sometimes you feel that you're a bit weighed down, like wanting to break free, because what you want is the Fool. But the Devil card can be a feeling of obligations and responsibilities, not a negative. Some people want this. So let's find out. Soul position, Two of Cups. That's interesting. I wonder if that's what's trying to wake you up. Knight of Swords, very interesting again, very, especially with the Seven of Pentacles, complete opposite cards. Knight of Swords is the fastest moving knight in the whole deck. Off he goes. But because the Seven of Pentacles is the gift, the Seven of Pentacles is a reflection card. So reflecting on where you've been and where you want to go. So the Six of Cups and the Five of Wands behind you. So the Six of Cups tends to be a soulmate card. Doesn't have to be. It's very often, I mean, it can just be hitting the sweet spot. the surfer who catches the perfect wave. It's very, very much a card of flow, but it's with the Five of Wands, which is the complete opposite. Five of Wands is head and heart, going in separate directions. I think for some of you it's around a relationship, because the Hanging Man here and the Two of Cups here. So maybe what's trying to get your attention is sometimes angst. The Five of Wands is a card of angst. And sometimes it's that angst that's trying to get our attention, so we don't feel that comfortable. Maybe there's some unfinished business, Gemini. Okay, now listen, my link to my website's below. If you go under the blog, there's a meditation for cutting and releasing old energetic ties. So for some of you, there's definitely a relationship here. Six of Cups, Two of Cups. But with the Five of Wands and the Hanging Man, it's like surrender, control, head and heart going in separate directions about the way forward. So maybe there's some work that needs to be done on where you're at regarding your relationships. And it's that work that will start to speed your life along, because what you want is the Fool card. So maybe some of you, this is about a commitment, but you're not sure about the commitment because your desire is to be the Fool. I mean, the Fool's commitment is more, because really what a soulmate is, a soulmate doesn't try to pin a person down, by the way. A soulmate is here we are right now, but if that ever changes, then I wish you well as you go along your next soul stage. Soulmate isn't something our culture's quite got yet, even though there's a lot of hallmark cards about what a soulmate is. A soulmate puts another person's soul growth before anything. Okay, so not their need to be attached, but their need to see the other person becoming all that they were destined to become. Okay, that's what the Fool card's about. That's what a soulmate really, really is. And I think for some of you, there's a little bit of a struggle around this. Maybe about relationship choices, what you want in your life. The gift of the Seven of Pentacles is the gift of taking a step back and reflecting, basically. Because a challenge is a chariot. So wanting the Fool is about wanting to step forth in a completely free way. So living for the day, taking chances, taking risks, following your heart, regardless of the logical mind. It's about following the instincts, the heart. The Chariot is a challenge, is not yet until the end of the month going full steam ahead. I'm not sure if I'll do a mid-month up, because there's not enough people viewing, and no, YouTube don't share my videos, and there's no really point me doing them if not many people are viewing them, Gemini. So I probably won't do them. So Knight of Swords is this full steam ahead, but most of this month it's about not pushing too far ahead. It's about listening to your desires, which are about this brand new chapter. The Fool carries no karma, he's a zero, and the only way we can carry no karma is if we've released the past. We're not carrying people from the past, we're not carrying memories from the past. So do check out that video. You might need to listen to it a few times. We're in Libra season. That's where our soul wants us to attend, is about our relationships, our connections. Are we in right relationship with people in our past and our present? Because the future will be dictated by how we turn up for the now. So my third reading, and everyone's reading, tends to be about relationships, things that need to be let go of, or things we want to bring back into our lives. Because the Five of Wands in the past can be about that. It can be about something that's still pulling you. So there's a bit of reflection here. Hanging Man in the relationship, that will be done. It's the Pisces card. It's a surrender of, it's a surrender card. A bit like the Ten of Swords. I love the Ten of Swords, by the way. So the Hangman, and how I read him, deliberately goes into this position. Yeah. So he deliberately goes into this position because the Seven of Pentacles is the gift. It's like some of you are choosing. It's like stop the bus. Or is it as a reggae song? Isn't it? Stop the train. I need to get off because I need to take a look at where I'm at, what I want for my future, in order for me to go forward. There's never been a more appropriate time to do that, especially before December. December is going to bring so much change into our world. So before then, the amount of work you can do in being true to your own heart, releasing any past attachments that are still energetically draining you right now, the better. And that's why I made that video last week. This on my and I put it on my website because that's where I'm building my future, by the way, and not as much on YouTube. So there's a real decisions around relationships to be made here. Now the Devil in money and work, so you can feel a bit trapped with the Devil. So a classic example is, oh, like, I want the Fool, I want to go travelling, but I have got obligations I need to make. So for some of you that is the case. Tell me more about the Devil, please, and money and work. Okay, you've got the Eight of Swords, so some of you might feel a little bit trapped by your financial circumstances from totally embracing the desires of your soul, which is the Fool card. Okay, so the Fool follows his own drum. He doesn't listen to anyone else's drum apart from his own. But this is sort of feeling not fully able to do that because of circumstances, okay? Always a big one to work through, Gemini, this energy, but it can be done, okay? There's loads of ways that you can start to pierce the veil and begin to invite breakthroughs in this area of your life. But you've got to be willing, you've got to be brave. And that's all about what the Fool card is. So Two of Cups in a soul position. I mean, this is obviously about relationships with the Six of Cups there. But there's a theme right down this sphere about head and heart, maybe going in separate directions and stopping to reflect. Can I just look at the angles? I think this is definitely around a relationship. I mean, there's definitely a theme around finances and not feeling that you can totally be the Fool energy. Okay. Any more guidance for Gemini around this? Yeah, this is so bizarre. You get the bird in the cage. So the key, the freedom's the Fool, but inside this cage lies a certain amount of security, which is the Devil card. So the Devil's not a negative, that's what I mean. It's Saturn, it's form, it's security. The Age of Aquarius is very, very much about leaving behind the Saturn realm, by the way. that very, very few of us can just walk away from it. So you can do it very gradually, but really this is about the freedom of the fool, or the security of the devil. And with the Eight of Swords, it's feeling very, very much trapped in the middle. Honestly, Gemini, I so understand it's something that I've been playing with, especially for the last 3 or 4 years, about how to free up energy. And it's a backwards and forward step. And the Two of Cups at soul level is about relationships. But then we get the Knight of Swords as the outcomes. The Knight of Swords is moving forward. Actually, he bolts forward. He doesn't even move forward. And where's he bolting towards? He's bolting towards the Ace of Cups, which is following his heart, essentially. Beautiful. If you think about the Gemini, there is a head and heart dilemma, isn't there? And the head and heart dilemma can play out in certain ways. It can play out in relationship themes, but it can also, there's so many themes, soul themes that a person carries. Security and freedom is one of them. That is the reason why people stay in very unhappy relationships. It provides them a sense of security, so they won't leave it to follow their dreams. Okay, definitely. Some of the times we stay in jobs we don't like because we have got responsibilities. Okay, it doesn't have to be forever, Gemini, and you can piercing the veil is about making really small, tiny little breakthroughs. Which maybe is what your heart is beginning to tell you. And really by the end of the month that you're moving forward and following your heart. Because there'll come a point where we become too ill not to follow our heart. Because repressing our desires and our true longings in the long term does not lead to a healthy place. I think we can do it for a short time, especially like, look, I'm a parent, and when children were small, I had to provide for them. But then we have to try and free ourselves up again and find different ways of opening up and attending to the needs of our own heart and our own soul. You've got a very, very interesting reading. It's only my third reading, and everyone's is really interesting. It's very it's the way that it should be going. Because as we move closer, especially to December, and as we move closer and closer to this age of Aquarius, the age of Aquarius is the age of individuation, which is about bringing what your heart longs for into the world. And it's becoming as important as our food and our shelter. That's what the age of Aquarius is going to demand of us. And if some of you are beginning to feel this tension, this need for change, it's what's going on really. It's your soul that's talking to you. And we can try and shove it down and oppress it. And there's a little bit of that going on here. Sometimes we need to. But we can't do it forever. And it doesn't have to be absolute black and white. For a long time I worked part-time. I did my business part-time. And now all I do is my business. But it's a process, Gemini, and you need to start to pierce the veil and bring forward your heart, and then we take small steps to move forward in that journey. I'm a bit intrigued what's going on with your relationships. So this thing that's trying to awaken you, it might be tension. I think it might be tension. The Five of Wands is one of the best cards for change. but it causes the pressure to make a change. But most of us don't change unless there's some sort of pressure to do it. And the pressure you've been put under here, Gemini, is about the call to live in your heart. Yeah? It's really, really tough. It's really tough when we're being, when there's also very big pressures to survive. Around your relationship, you've got the Ascension card. I don't really like that word Ascension, because to me, the world we're moving towards is about bringing our gifts into the 3D realm, not escaping to the 5D realm. But this card does represent changing levels in your life. So we begin to change levels in our life when we listen and acknowledge the voice of our heart. We don't repress it. When we're tense, we welcome the tension as a message that something needs to change, that we need to reorganize things, that we need to reflect, and we need to be true to our own selves. We're not here to be true to someone else's vision of our lives, but our own. And that is what the true age of Aquarius is about. And believe me, Gemini, we've literally got October, November, and then the heat's going to start to go up about the pressure to follow our own vision of our lives. Okay, guys, lots of love. Bye.